I was just working on a project for Crafty Me shop. Thought I would put the camera on. Please excuse my hands, they're a bit battered at the moment. I won't even go into what happened, but I've just started on this project, and what I've got here is I have some wadding, which is this sort of wadding. It's just off an old valance from around a bed. I think that's what it was from anyway. It's just cotton, a little bit of wadding in between, and just that sort of stuff on the other side. So that is a very economical way to buy wadding from the thrift store. Then I have linen on both sides of it, and that's from an old pair of linen pants, and I'm just tacking it together at the moment, and I'm doing that by hand. I just want to, most of this probably will be hand sewn or machine sewn at some stage, and I thought I would film it. I've made these before. Lots of people have made these before as well. So I guess we all do it the same, but a little bit different. This is a soft cover. There's no cardboard or cardstock or anything like that in it. Oh, I can't even see that. There we go. Like I said, I'm just tacking these layers together at the moment. This is a beautiful Crafty Me shop lace. I have just trimmed the edge off it. I'll show you what it looks like in a moment. And I'm just taking like probably a centimetre stitches, which is probably just over half, almost half an inch, I guess. And I'm just going around the edge of it all the way just to sandwich those together. I'll continue doing that along there, and then I'll be back. Okay, so that's tacked all around the edges. This is the lovely lace from Crafty Me shop that I've put across the bottom of the booklet, and that is going to make a pocket on that side. I might just do a little stitch up there as well, and this is because it's going to be like a concertina fabric book. So where are we? Just to keep things in place while I'm working on it, rather than have a lot of pins and things that can get in the way. I just want to hold it in place with a few, like a large running stitch to hold it in place. So that gives me that pocket there, that pocket there. I will do the same for there, and then I'll be... So that's done. Now I'm going to flip it over to the other side, and I'm going to use another lovely lace from Crafty Me shop. And this is a gorgeous lace, this one. Look, make sure I've got it the right way around to show you. I think it's that way. It's absolutely, oh, it's probably easier to see it there. Absolutely gorgeous lace. So I'm going to be using that to cover this side. And I've already cut the pieces out ready. Just deciding which way. Quite sure that's the right, yeah, that's the right way. So I'm going to put it this way. And that way there. And that one, it just fits lovely like that to cover the back, the front. This is the front of the cover, and it is left quite, you know, raw around the edges because it's a shabby style, and that's the way I want to do it. Now what I'm going to do, that'll be fine. I'm trying not to use my colourful pins on this because I do notice sometimes the colour comes off onto the fabrics and laces, and I don't want that happening. So I'm going to carefully just pin that there like that. And that one. And of course, if you prefer to use glue, by all means use glue. It's a personal choice. Glue works beautifully. I've done many fabric books using glue as well, and they turn out they turn out fine. So it's just totally up to you. I'm in sewing mode, so I'm sewing. All right, that like that looks about right. And we'll just put a couple around the edges. And I'm just going to shallow stitch, which means I'm not going to go through to the other side. Am I? Oh, on this part here. I'm not going to go through to the other side on that part where I'm stitching the pieces together. And then I will probably just follow the same lines around the edges and also down this part here where I made that pocket, like that. I'll mark it on this side, which just happens to be right where that line is there. Isn't that good? That doesn't seem right, but it is. Oh my. There and there. Oh, okay, that worked out really well. So it down that line there, right down the center, and down there I'll do a stitch as well, just to hold it all together nicely. And I will just be doing a running stitch to hold everything there. But the first thing I'll do is just do a little stitch to join those pieces there together. Yes, in between, just sort of in between the two lines there, I'll do a little running stitch, and that should be fine. Let's just have a look. Now I've got all full of pins. Maybe we can take those out for the time being. Those ones, okay. That way I've got something to hold. So this one, I don't want it to go all the way through. I just want it to go to catch the outside piece of the wadding. I don't know if that was in shot. Just making a little anchoring the knot. So kind of just not going all the way through and not making real big stitches on the outside of it, making the larger stitch the one going under. I better just check that hasn't, no, that's fine. See, that hasn't gone all the way through, which is nice. So I'm going to go ahead and join those. Where's that come from? Oh, that's from the linen threads. Okay, I'm going to go sew up there and sew up that one, and all the way around the edge, and also in the middle, and there and there. Yep, and then I'll be back. Alright, so that's all stitched on now. You can kind of see where I've stitched that on. There we go. So this is our front cover, and I had a, just move that. I had this piece here. I just want to show you, because I started cutting it before showing you. It goes like that. It looks like it's the front of a, that goes down the front of a bodice or something like that. How did it go? Like that. I think. No, like that. Went like that. Alright, so you've got flowers down the center there and two borders and then like a V for the neckline, I'm guessing. So what I did was I cut the flowers and part of this scallop out, and so I've just got this, and I thought, I'm just going to make sure I get this the right way up. Alright, so the pocket's down there. I don't know, that way, okay. I thought this would be quite nice to use across the front of the book like that, and it's basically the perfect size for it, and it just finishes it off nicely. And I sort of cut this out a little bit different, like on purpose. That one there could probably go these are all from Crafty Me shop. So that goes like that, that goes, that could probably join up a bit like that. Do I want that like that, or maybe that like that, and that could go, doesn't have to go too far out though, so maybe bring it in just a little bit like that, and like that. That could work, couldn't it? Oh, I can bring that down a bit. Hang on. There we go. Bring it down a bit. Like that. Like that. And like that. Okay, that fits all right, doesn't it? And now you can, I did want to say, I sewed all those other things on in, you know, the other side, and then turned it over and sewed it on this side. You could actually, if you know in advance what you're going to do, sew all those things at the one time, pin them into place and sew them all the layers together on the sewing machine or by hand. I did it the way I would normally glue something. Like if you were gluing, you would glue one side and then turn it over and glue the other side. So if you are gluing, that's sort of the way you would go about it. Okay, so I think that might work like that. I hope you can see. So let me just pin all that, and then I will be stitching that on, but I won't bore you with all the stitching. If you're gluing, you can go ahead and glue things on. Just make sure where the eventual folds will be, don't put too much glue around those sorts of places, like in the center and in these where we sewed down the pocket areas, because it's concertina. You wouldn't want to be putting a lot of glue in those folds because it just won't fold properly. So keep that in mind if you're gluing. Even if it's fabric glue, it stiffens things a bit. So just be aware of that. Pretty, isn't it? This lovely collar piece here. like that. I can barely see these pins. But they're really nice and sharp pins. What were they called? The new pins. Let me see. Oh, I got them from the quilt shop. There's blue ones. I should have used the blue ones. And there's yellow ones. And they're really sharp. And they're fairly long as well. But very sharp compared to my old ones. I got them so that when I was doing the slow stitching, I had some decent pins to use. Okay. I could probably move that up just a little. It covers that edge a little bit there, doesn't it? So that's nice. Not that I mind the edge. Okay, and I'm going to leave that straight edge on there. I like that little straight edge on the back there. I think that's quite nice, so I'll leave that on and stitch that as well. And so I'll go ahead and stitch all that, and then I'll be back. So I've sewn all that on now. I've sewn it. I've just left there a couple of just tiny little edge pieces with a bit of movement to them. The rest, you know, just the inner side pieces. I still haven't sewn this down yet because I'm not sure whether I want to sew it down just yet or not, or whether I want something behind it, so that's why I've left that part there. The other side, I have this beautiful trim here from Crafty shop, which is this one here. Isn't it lovely? It's in a very soft white colour. And I have okay, that might be a bit easier for you to see. Okay, so that's going along here. I just need to sew that on to that pocket part. And then I've used this one at the top here, which is another beautiful trim, which is this one here. Isn't that lovely? So I'm using that along the top there. I don't know what I'm going to put along here yet. Oh, I've got an idea, but I'm just thinking about it. So I'll go ahead and stitch these on. It's quite dark now and it's getting late, so I'll stitch them on, and then that's probably it for today. Give me time to have a little think about what to put down the bottom here, and of course the side pieces as well. I am back again. I have stitched that lace across there. I have stitched the lace across the top there as well. I have also stitched two pieces of tulle. You might be able to see that on the back there, to make two pockets, so that when the book, that's the booklet like that, it opens up. I don't want to take away from the beautiful lace that I've used. Let me get a piece of paper or something, and so I can put a tag or something in the back there on both of those. So I should have done that before putting this lace on, but you know, I managed to tuck it in and to sew it to this lace here, so that's all right. But don't do what I did. You know, if I make a mistake, like put the pocket on before attaching all the lace. That way you've got plenty of space to be sewing and things like that. Okay, so back to the inside here. Now I have this lovely trim from Crafty shop. It's this pretty one here. Isn't it lovely? Especially the right way around. And I thought I might put a bit of that just down there to finish this part here off. Cut one piece to size, like that. So just like that on the edge there, but not all the way around. So one there, and I need one for the other side as well. Okay, it's really pretty. Okay, and that one can go on that side there. Like that. I want something up the top here and something for down the bottom. I do have this colour seam binding, which doesn't look too bad with these colours. It's quite nice and stops it from being so, you know, all cream and all white and things like that. And for my cover, I was having a play around, and I had this beautiful applique. It was a large one, and it consisted of all these flowers. So what I thought I might do is put that, you know, on the front there, like that. And I made a flower using some of the beautiful laces from Crafty Me shop. I will show you what laces I used. For the larger outside edge, around the edge here, I used this beautiful lace. Isn't it gorgeous? It's so soft as well. So I used that around the outside, and then on the inside, where was it? I used, I'll find it. But right in the center, I've used this lovely shell-like trim. That's a really pretty one, that one. And all I did was sort of, you know, go like that with it, with 4 of the shells, and put that in the center there and kinked it up just a little bit. I don't know where the little pretty cotton one is. Maybe I'll find it. Never mind. Okay, I've cut, oh, here it is, hiding under that one. There we go. So I've used this beautiful lace here and made just a little gathered flower underneath the shell one there. I'll show you it up close in a moment. And then I've popped some stamens in it, like that. And so that's, I thought, would go in there. They're not glued in yet, those stamens. They're just sat in there. I just wanted to get the look of what it might look like. Maybe there. Something like that anyway, I think. I used, when I did the inside, I cut the bottom off this lace here, off this larger one. And with the bits that I cut off, I just made a couple of gathered flowers with it. So I'll use that, and a little flower from the inside of a doily might go. This might all change. Maybe put that there or something. I like the little tendrils on this. I think they're ever so sweet. Sort of like that, maybe. I'm still playing around with that. That's why I haven't attached anything as yet. And then this sort of looked a bit, you know, dark. So I got some more little stamens and wired them together and folded them. And I thought that Might just break up that brown a little bit more there. And I think, oh, that's what I thought. I might put that there. I thought this one here, see, this is a lovely piece. And these little ones are dimensional on top there. It's so pretty, isn't it? And I cut a couple of those out. I thought they might be nice as like a leaf effect. And that might go like that. Something like that. So that's kind of what I was playing with anyway. And then I had these little, where are they? Here. These little, they're like little plastic flowers. They came off a belly dancing costume, the top of it. They were all over it, and I unpicked them all. And then these little pearls are from Esme, from Crafty Me Shop as well. I thought perhaps one of those might look all right in the centre there. Anyway, I haven't stitched anything down yet. I was just sort of playing around with it to see what it might look like. I don't know if I was going to put this on or not. It's just another one from the offcuts and a little seam binding flower there. That's that grey sort of colour, and it does, you know, it looks quite nice altogether, but I don't want too much on the front there, you know, I don't want to overdo it, really. It looks quite full as it is, doesn't it? But I do like the look of it. And because it's all stitched and that, it's really squishy and soft. That might be alright. I don't know. I still have to play around with it, so maybe not that one. I don't. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I'll have to take a picture of it and walk away and look again after a while. That'll give me an idea of what I think of it, I think. So that's where I'm up to now. So I need to stitch those little pieces on inside there and find something to put along the bottom and the top of it as well. Okay, so I'll go and have a look and then I will be back. Okay, so I'm back and I can't remember where I'd filmed up to. It's a few days later now. I think I'd shown you I'd stitched this one here and I'd stitched this one up the top. I've added some ruffled seam binding to the top of that, and all I did to do that was I got some seam binding, I put a stitch in it, and then I kind of kinked it up and brought the stitch out, did another stitch on top of it, kinked it up, took the thread under and brought it out, and it gives a ruffly effect. And I did the same just here on each end with a little bit of tulle, if you can see that there, and that's the ruffled seam binding. I put a little bit of doily pieces here that I stitched on, and I also used this lovely lace once again, of course, from Crafty Me Shop. Where did I put it? Oh, here. This one here. Now, I didn't have a ribbon to thread through it, but I have seen on some vintage laces like that where they've just laid the ribbon behind it. So I did that, and I used seam binding behind it, and I stitched all that in place. And I quite like the way that looks. I did tea stain this lace, and I did tea stain this one that I showed you that I was going to use down the bottom. It doesn't make it very dark, but it just took the lightness. This is a little piece of this one before tea staining, so you can kind of see the difference it makes there. Okay, I stitched one of these little flowers to each side, and that is from this trim here. It was the center of the pieces. Now what else? Oh, okay, so I've got this beautiful trim here, upside down, from Crafty May's shop, and I'm using a couple of the flowers off that, and I've just cut a couple out like that, and I thought that might just finish that corner piece off there. And another one like that, and put that in that corner there like that. And then from the same lace, just a couple of little circles from this lace as well. I may put those in the center of that flower there, like that. And I'm thinking, I was playing around. I did show you, I think I showed you anyway. Where's the other one gone? These tiny little, just let me take that off. These tiny little flowers that I have. I was thinking maybe I could like put one there, miss one, and put another one there, miss one, and put another one there. As long as I don't end up on the sewing part, I should be fine. Oh, that one's a bit touch and go. That might just make it. Every second one to put a little flower, and then I haven't stitched the cover, the front of it all together yet. I'll do that in a moment. I showed you what I was going to do there. These little pearls from Crafty May's shop, I may put those like on that middle one there, in between all the plastic flowers, and maybe one on top of the flower as well, like that, and then one in between, just to break it up. And so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to stitch this little piece on here like that. I wonder what that would look like with that in the center up there. That might, we'll see. Stitch those on, put all these little things along here, and then I think the inside of it will be done, and then I will go ahead and do my little front cover there, which I showed you how I was going to do. So I will do all of that, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, I am back. I have finished the front cover here, and I'll just bring that up to show you what I've done. I've stitched, and I've actually added a little bit of glue in places as well, but fabric glue, so it's nice and soft. I've just put a little bit of the stickles, what is that? That one's the platinum, I think. I haven't got much of that one left. The platinum stickles inside that little one there, and the little one down here. I've added some lovely stamens. I just think that softens that darker colour just a little bit. Put a couple of the leaves on, and that's how that look. I did add a little bit of applique down here, and that is I think it's from this particular one from Crafty May's shop. And I think that's it for the front cover, because I explained what I was going to do there before. I did add the beautiful ribbon that my design package was tied up with. So I've stitched that and put a little bit of glue as well under the decoration. That goes all the way around the back to tie at the side here, like that. So as you can see, that comes through there, and that, so it's one long piece and just stitched and glued under the decoration. Now this is all very soft and flat, so it's not too dimensional. And then when we open it up inside, it looks like that, and I can just get it on. And I stitch the applique up the top there. I did put another one of those with a bit of the stickles in the center, and I've stitched all the little pearls and beads across the bottom there. And I did find the beads ended up being a little bit loose, these larger ones, so I just went, after I'd stitched them all on, I just went along and put a tiny dab of glue under the back of these bigger beads, just so they didn't wiggle around so much. I don't know exactly what happened there, but just a tiny little bit under there. Now, the rest of this journal is going to be done. I'm waiting on something in the mail to finish the inside of this. Now, it's like a booklet, but it's going to have 2 journals stitched in, one on this seam, one on this seam. So it's like a concertina journal. You'll be able to write there, and you'll be able to write in there. And these are all pockets, but I'm waiting for something to arrive in the mail. And what I'll be doing is, in December, I will be doing the journals that go inside of this cover, and it will be using Crafty Me Shop laces and trims, and also these other things that I'm waiting on in the mail. So I hope you'll join me for that, and I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial for how I put the cover of this together. I'm quite happy with how it turned out. Although it's a soft cover, by the time you get the journals inside, it will add a little bit more sturdiness to it. So I'll put the link to Crafty Me Shop in the description box below. And I just I found out Esme's having a Black Friday sale. I think it was at 12 o'clock. So if you are a member of the group, just go, and I'm sure there's a banner there that will tell you exactly when the sale was on. I will also link a video that she put up this morning explaining about the sale on Facebook, and that might help you understand when the sale is a little bit better, because I'm in Australia, so I don't understand the time differences over there as well as people who live over there. So that may be useful for you. So take care, everybody, and I hope you join me when I make the rest of this little journal up. Bye.